recording artist Lisa Buchel, and I'm coming to you from Victor Studio B at the Soundplex in Pennsauken, New Jersey. And this is Danny's Creative House. Today we're calling the episode From the Heart episode. We're going to be talking about Danny DeGennaro's album From the Heart, which you can find on iTunes after the show if you don't already have it. I figured to start the show, we would discuss some things with Bob Faglow, who was executive producer and manager and worked on the From the Heart album. So let's start there. Bob Faglow, here we are.
How you doing, Lisa?
Good, it's so good to see you.
You too.
Yeah, so what you been up to?
Nothing much. In my semi-retirement right now, so.
Okay, that's good, that's good. So today we want to talk about From the Heart, which was an amazing record. We're going to play a song later live, one of Danny's songs from the record. Can you tell us kind of, to start with, I hear that long before you worked on this record, you were friends with Danny back when you guys were kids.
Oh yeah,
How'd you meet?
I met Danny walking across Medill Bear Field during field day.
Okay, and right in the local area.
Oh yeah, right in Farrell's Hills, and we were walking across the field, and everybody knew who Danny was because he already was kind of popular at that time. Shook hands, and we were friends ever since. And I used to go over to his house in Thornridge sometimes, see if he wanted to come out and hang out, but he was always practicing his guitar, so
Yeah.
we would catch up later in the evening. But
well, that paid off. And you said like along back in the day in Thornridge there was a big rock. I guess it's the one under the life-size sculpture now, Bucks County.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about that rock and where Danny used to sit and play.
He'd come down there at night. All the kids would gather, and Danny would be playing all his songs, and the girls would be swooning, and guys would be swilling the beer, and it was a good time.
That's awesome. So time went by, and were you in touch the entire time until you worked on From the Heart? Or
yeah, sure. I mean, Danny was a regular guy, you know. He wasn't just music. I mean, he played sports. I mean, he was just a regular guy.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about that part.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, everybody followed him. He won the Pennsbury High School talent show. I think it was in his senior year. And time went on. I'd go wherever he was playing, I'd see. So I'd follow all his gigs. And one night we were in a place called Maxwell's, and during his break I said, Danny, come outside, I want you to hear this album I got by Santana. So he comes out and we're listening, he goes, hey Bob, listen to this. And he pulls out a CD, and he had these songs recorded that he had done with another one of our fellow students, Gary Summers. He had recorded it, and I listened to the recording. I said, what are you doing with this? He goes, nothing. I said, well, I'd like to get involved. So from that point, I decided I'm going to become his manager. So I started managing him. What we did is we put a cover to it, took it, I started shopping the record. So I met a guy by the name of Bud Ross. He worked at Faulkner Cadillac as I was in the car business.
Okay.
Bud had a hit record, a top 40 record, and he directed me. He says, you got to find this guy, that guy, that guy. So he proceeds to name all these guys in the business, who I go track down. And the first guy I tracked down was a guy by the name of Frank Sciarra. Frank Sciarra at one time was head of promotion at Atlantic Records, all right? He ended up breaking Phil Collins as a solo artist, but knows everybody. Frank, I finally track him down. I give him the CD. He loves Bye Bye Baby, which is one of the tunes that Danny had done. He loves it. From there, I meet another guy by the name of Ron DiMarino. Ron DiMarino was at one time executive or a regional vice president of MCA Records.
Okay.
Give him the record. He listens to it. Then there was another guy. I was working in Newtown at the time. I was working at Bill Marsh Ford. Okay. This guy used to drive by every day in a Bentley convertible with a cigar. And I said to one of my good friends, I said, who's that? He goes, you don't know who that is? Here, it's Frank DeLeo, right? Michael Jackson's manager back in the heyday. I said, where's he hang out? There's a bar right down the street, El Sol. I called it the Frank DeLeo Watch. I waited at the pizza shop. I waited here, I waited there.
Is that in Newtown?
In Newtown, Pennsylvania, okay? Finally track him down, tell him what I'm doing. The guy was nice as pie. He says, Bobby, he says, I'm gonna listen to everything. Give me time. So about a month go by, the watch is back on. I want to see what he has to think. He listens to it all. He said, listen, he needs a producer, all right? So Frank Sciarra had told me the same thing. Needs a producer. Ron DiMarino Sr. told me he needs a producer. Well, Frank turned me on to these two gentlemen by the name of Jim Avery and Buddy Turner.
Buddy Turner, yes.
All right, Buddy Turner, he had a hit record back in the 60s called At the Top of the Stairs. Very popular in Philadelphia.
Okay.
He was the lead singer for the Formations.
Okay.
He worked for Gamble and Huff and He worked on everybody's records.
And they ended up collaborating.
So, got together with those two guys, and we went from there. They came to my house, and they listened to everything Danny had. And Buddy says to me, tell him to write new stuff. So I tell Danny, who's in Florida at the time, and Danny being his cantankerous self sometimes, like, why do I have to do that? I says, Danny, just do it. So he sends me a tape up with about 7 new songs on it. And I give him to Bud. Now, he hadn't come up from Florida yet. All right, so Buddy does the tracks. And Buddy said to me, he said, Bob, when he comes up here and hears these tracks, he's going to run for the mic and the guitar.
Okay.
That's in my brain.
And did this happen?
Okay. Danny comes up. We go to the rehearsal studio. Danny goes in. Buddy sets a boombox up, turns it on, and so help me God, Danny ran for the mic and the guitar. And this is the case, yeah. Okay, I mean, it was unbelievable.
So how many of the ones that were on the original CD that he had given you, and how many of the new 7 or so that you wrote in Florida? Was it kind of a mix?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
We mixed. Yeah. So we mixed it. So we had enough songs for this.
Yeah. And was there like a theme to it? It's called From the Heart. So I know some of the tunes of this thing.
And From the Heart, and it kind of coincides with something else we're going to talk about, which is the book.
Okay. Yeah.
And inside that book and inside that record, I mean, there's a lot of love, coming from the whole community.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Okay, not just love songs, but love from the whole community, which is.
Anybody that's
profound.
Involved in this, it's just been that, because everybody loved Danny, and we all wanted to see him get somewhere.
That's awesome.
We felt he belonged there.
Yeah. It took the whole village. But so, in talking about the book, John Farmer wrote a book about Danny D.
Yes.
And can you touch on that a little? Have you read the book?
Oh, yes, I read the book. It's excellent. It really is. It's a great book, and that's a story in itself, just how John, and John's going to tell you, I imagine you're going to be talking to him later,
he'll be in
how
soon.
It came about, but that's an amazing story in itself, how that book came about. Because after Danny's passing, there wasn't much you can do. He can't go out there and promote anything. I mean, he's gone.
Yeah.
And but the music is fabulous. Another cool thing about that record is Buddy and Jimmy sang the background vocals on that. And you guys are doing Listen to the Rain, I
We
understand
are. Right
today.
after we speak in a couple minutes, we're going to head over and do
those
a version.
background vocals are those two guys.
That's really cool. They sound
they're
beautiful.
really beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, I love the production of that song.
Yeah, and I brought some ancient artifact for you.
Oh, you did? You
yes,
brought it?
Yes,
okay, let's check it out.
See it? Okay.
Now, what is this?
All right.
What is
this is
from?
before the advent of the EPK. This was actually Danny's press kit. Okay. Now, we released that record in 2000.
Okay.
Okay, and if you guys
look
can
at
see
this.
that.
This is old school.
This is old school.
Yeah,
All
wow, that's
the
cool.
back. All right.
Show and tell.
Inside of that, you'll see some promotional photos. This is Danny inside the Sigma Sound. When we recorded the record at Sigma Sound Studio. Okay. And this was a.
Let's see his headshot there.
Yeah,
Let's flash that at the camera.
And I got to tell you, Danny hated this, but that was.
We love this. We love this.
He's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
He's beautiful.
He is beautiful.
Yes, he is. And we also we did a promotional shot with Cal Rudman from the Friday Morning Quarterback.
Cal Rudman. Yeah, tell us a little bit about, you had that article, right?
At Love Park.
Okay.
Well, before we released 2 singles to Top 40 Radio, and we did this with Cal.
Okay.
In front of Love Park before we released it.
That's cool.
So also with that, the singles ended up in rotation at about 20 Top 40 stations nationwide.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but what happens, I mean, records get picked up and they get dropped as well.
I know.
They're major. And, but just the fact that, what meant a lot to me was the fact that he was getting airplay and in rotation at Top 40 is just amazing.
You did an amazing job starting.
Well, it's a testament to Danny, how good he is.
Yeah. Well, you did a lot of work. You found your way, too.
But he belonged there. He
did. He did.
So, it's, for me, the book is just, it brought everything back up again.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of emotion out of you because you just kind of go over everything and remembering.
Yeah, so definitely check out that book, guys. And we will be talking to John Farmer soon on one of the episodes. And it's just been so great talking with you. And
one last thing, Lisa.
Sure.
The book's called Way Too Fast.
Way Too Fast. And it's great talking with you, Bob.
All right, thank you so much.
Take care. All right, let's go play some music.
2:30 in the morning. I'm sitting in my room. The rain's falling down. Yeah, I'm sitting all alone. And I'm thinking of you. Just listen to the rain. Listen to the rain falling on the roof. wash away my pain, let it heal it once again. Listen to the rain falling on the roof. Let it wash away my pain, and it's healing time again. Is it any wonder I tried and tried again? Nothing ever turns out right, and every day is another fight. We never talked it over, just keep it all inside. Crying sleepless nights away, praying for the light of day, yeah. Listen to the rain falling on the roof. Let it wash away my pain, let it heal it once again. Listen to the rain falling on the roof. Let it wash away my pain, it's healing time again. Yeah, all right. Listen to the rain, rain, rain. Yeah, you're not there to hold me. I feel so lost inside. I don't know where to go, baby. I'm walking circles on the floor. I think about the lonely nights, emptiness I feel, lying in my empty bed. There's so many more ahead, yeah, alright. Listen to the rain falling on the roof, yeah. Let it wash away my pain, let it heal it time again. Listen to the rain falling on the roof. Let it wash away my pain, it's healing time again. As I sit in the cell, it brings back all the years. Oh, I think about the times we had. You know, I'm fighting back the tears, baby. Oh, I guess I'll never know what the future holds in store. You keep telling me you had enough, mama, but I keep coming back for more. Listen to the rain falling on the roof. Let it wash away my pain, let it heal it once again. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen to the rain falling on the roof. Let it wash away my pain, it's healing time again. Listen to the rain. Listen to the rain. Let it wash away the pain, baby. Listen to the rain. All right now. I said, listen to the rain.
Guitarist, songwriter, and singer, and we're going to talk to him about his career and his involvement with the Danny D Foundation. Ernie White.
Lisa, how
So
you doing,
good to
sweetie?
see you. Elbow bump me, brother. Thank you so much for coming. I'm loving your outfit.
You're my rock and roll sister.
I
You know that.
am. It's almost like, okay, now I'm interviewing you, but I kind of know a lot about your history, but...
I think you know too much, probably.
Yeah, maybe, but the audience will find it fascinating. So I figured before we talked about your involvement with Danny D Foundation, we would kind of touch on some of the amazing musical things that you've accomplished in your career. There's so much. Aviator, Sam the Band, Ernie White Band. I don't even know where to start. Kind of give me your background in music, how you started.
Well, I started playing guitar at age 10
Okay, wow.
and had, you know, the usual neighborhood bands and things like that.
Right.
My first band was guitar, drums, and trumpet.
This I didn't know.
Yes.
We played a lot of Herb Alpert and Tijuana brass.
Okay.
Anyway.
Love it.
Instrumentals, or
Yeah.
Pipeline, all those guitar things. And
Yeah.
then, of course, I started singing, got pushed to the front and became a lead singer of the band. And first band locally that people might remember would be the band Wind.
Oh, Wind, yeah.
And we played all over Jersey and Pennsylvania and New York when you were playing 7 nights a week, basically, back in the day.
And would you play one club for 7 nights and then move on to a different
Yeah.
club? Okay, that's how it worked back then,
You'd set
right?
up on a Monday and you play through Saturday.
And you didn't have to load out, just
No,
once
yeah.
every 7 days.
Yeah. So during that period, we were playing down in the shore, a place called Bay Shores in Summers Point, and you'd have 2 bands playing. So our band would we would do a 1 hour set, say, and another band would come on back and forth, boom,
Oh.
boom, boom, boom. So I got to know a lot of the players down there, and Sam, the band, was looking for a new guitar player, and that's how they saw me and asked me to join. At that point, they were already signed to Casablanca Records, so I came in the middle of their whole Casablanca Records deal.
Oh, that's so
And was
cool.
able to record the second album at the infamous Caribou Ranch studio in Colorado that the band Chicago owned. So that was a wonderful
So
experience.
cool.
Spent a whole month in the mountains up there
Yeah.
on this compound that was just devoted to music. It was
That's
awesome.
so creative.
And then from there, the Aviator band came into play in the mid-'80s,
Okay.
and we were signed to RCA Records.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And we
I
got,
love that
yeah.
album. We listened to that going down to a gig in AC, remember?
Yeah.
Love
so
it.
That was a highlight of my career. One of the highlights. So
Yeah.
great experience. We recorded that at Electric Lady Studios in New York City. And
What was
spent
that like?
It was awesome. First of all, it's like, Jimi Hendrix's palace there.
Right.
So you walk in there, you got the whole vibe of Jimmy going on. And we spent a whole month there, which was great. So it was back in the day when there was actually recording budgets and all that, and they were throwing a lot of money around.
I hear
So,
you. That's a good
and we
time,
used
the
it.
Good old days.
We used it all, every last cent of it.
Oh, that's cool. That's really
So,
cool.
and then after that, I started my solo career, and you've been on many of my
yes,
recordings, Lisa.
I have
so
been blessed to do that, and
Yeah.
to be on the recordings. So your latest record, Coming of Age, which
Yes.
I got to sing backups on.
Yes.
I always wanted to sing backups on an Ernie White CD.
Yeah,
And that
fantastic
is
job.
an amazing, thank you. And it's an amazing kind of, like it starts from like childhood to like
Yeah.
current time. It's kind of got a theme to it.
yeah, it's
And,
basically about the different points in one's life where you come of age.
Yeah, yeah.
You come of age when you're born, and then when you're a teenager, for puberty and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
into adulthood, and and the trials and tribulations of life, basically.
Yeah.
And so it's more or less a theme album.
But it's all got like this great rock and roll, like, feel to it. It's a real cohesive and amazing record. How many CDs do you have?
I think 5.
5, yeah.
Last time I counted.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I think we're going to do, I'm going to have an opportunity to sing a duet on one of your songs. I think it's from Rude Awakening.
It is from Rude Awakening.
And Thinking Out Loud. We're going to head over in a few minutes and do that. Before we do, what have you been up to? I know it's pandemic, and it's
Yes.
hard to perform live, but I know you have a lot of live shows that are going to resume right after pandemic, as
Yeah.
well as Rock and Roll Heaven.
You and I have a gig coming up.
We do have, well, we actually do have a live gig in Atlantic City coming up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when this airs. We air
Right.
all different times. So we're
Yes.
kind of, I guess the point is we're kind of still getting out there and
Yeah.
doing some things at Hard Rock in Atlantic City. But we'll hit it hard again in the summer. And you also have Rock and Roll Heaven, which is an amazing project.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Tell
That's
us about that.
That's a concept I came up with along with Mark Sacco, and involves Lisa as one of our main players, of course. And it's just about the people that are the great musicians that came before us that have now passed on
The
to Rock
jam.
and Roll Heaven. So
Yeah.
we do everything from Elvis to Prince to Jimi Hendrix to The Who to
Yeah. Tom Petty.
Tom Petty.
Yeah.
And the list. Sorry to say the list keeps growing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a great show, and
It is a great show.
we're looking forward. Last year we had a few on the books, but of course
Yeah, everything
got
is
canceled
on a
out. So
pause. But we'll be back.
We'll be back, people.
Keep on rocking.
Yeah.
Yes, you can check out Ernie's projects, everything, the latest on erniewhite.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll go over, maybe we'll do a version. Tom Ryak is also here.
Yeah, I hear about that.
Yeah, your brother in music, my rock and roll brother. And we're going to do a version of Thinking Out Loud. All right.
Let's do it.
So Ernie White.
Came to a mountain and I tried to reach the top. Must have climbed for days on that little piece of rock. And I know what's on your mind. Yeah, I know what's on your mind.
Made it to the summit and I realized one thing. You can buy a piece of heaven, but it don't make you king. And I know what's on your mind. Yes, I know what's on your mind. Yes, and I'm looking for the answers. I'm searching for a clue. I'm running around in circles, yeah, but still I am confused. Excuse me if I'm rambling, cause I really don't mean to. Cause I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking out loud, yeah. Alright, Lisa.
Well, I thought I'd join the circus since I'd always been the clown. Cause then it's hard to tell the difference between a smile and a frown. Do you hear what's on my mind? Is it clear what's on my mind?
So I asked the bearded lady about the midget and his bride. She said, love is all the same, it don't come in any size. And I know what's on your mind. Yes, I know what's on your mind. Yeah.
I'm looking for the answers, searching for a clue. Running around in circles, yeah, but still I am confused. Excuse me if I'm rambling, I really don't mean to. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud.
You won't see me in a crowd, no.
And you won't hear me thinking out loud.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hop the boxcar to nowhere with a pusher and a punk, you know it's
Hard to sail the ship when it's already sunk. And I know what's on your mind. Yeah, I know it's on your mind.
Yeah,
I'm looking for the answers, still searching for a clue. Running around in circles, yeah, but still I'm confused. Excuse me if I'm rambling, I really don't mean to. I'm just thinking out loud.
yeah, she's just thinking out loud.
I'm just thinking, yeah, yeah,
So right now, I'm going to have an opportunity to talk with my rock and roll brother, amazing songwriter, pianist, singer, Tom Roeck. How you doing, Tommy?
Not bad, Lisa. How about
So
you,
good to
honey?
have you here. I'm good. I haven't really seen you since our show right before pandemic.
It was about a year ago almost.
I know. It felt good yesterday on the phone to say, hey, I'm going to see you tomorrow.
I know. Yeah, wonderful.
So what have you been up to?
Well, I've been playing around in my recording studio, and mostly for the last year, I've been doing a lot of archiving of old videos, old audio recordings, just trying to get them before the tapes all,
Right,
you
right.
know, evaporate.
Well, at least you had time to do all that. Squirrel
That's true.
Ranch, right?
Squirrel Ranch Studio, yeah.
Yeah. And Tommy, before we get started, I know you've been working with Danny D Foundation for probably about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So before we start talking about how that began, let's rewind and talk about the beginning of your career and how it all began.
Well, I've been performing now for, I think I counted it the other day, about 47 years. I've been playing in bars and.
You must be
know,
pretty good by now.
Well, that's debatable. Weddings, bar mitzvahs, that whole routine, you
Yeah.
know. And around the age of 35, 36, I met Ernie White.
Okay.
And was honored to join his band and really spent probably the last 20, 23 years playing with Ernie. And it was through Ernie that I got involved with the Danny D Foundation.
Okay, that's very cool. Yeah. Now, So we did some all-star shows, I guess, with Ernie's all-star band, kind of like for Danny D Foundation, and some really fun stuff, Bucks County
Yes.
Playhouse and everything, and that was really great.
Don't forget the snow show.
The snow show.
Remember the
yes.
snow show?
I do remember the snow show. Yes, I can't forget it. We've had a lot of snow this year, too. So, also, you have your Reock and Roll review,
Yes, which
which I perform in.
you are a part of.
Honored.
And that's usually a once-a-year project where a great group of musicians, anywhere from 8 members to, 15, I think, has been our largest band. We take a classic album and we try to perform it as close to the album as we can. And plus, within that show, there are little movie documentaries, and we speak to the audience about the album. It's just it's a fun little project.
Love those shows.
Yeah.
And you've been pretty much sold out at every show.
We have, for the last, I guess it's been about 12 years, 13 years we've been doing those shows.
And what's the next one coming up? I know it got a little
Well,
postponed for
everything
pandemic.
got a little bit messed up. The plan now is to push our next show to February or March of 2022. And the plan is to do Sly and the Family Stone's greatest hits.
It's going to be amazing.
It should be a lot of
Who's
fun.
going to be singing? the
Well,
Sly
there's going to
stuff?
be a lot of vocalists in
Yes.
Sly. You,
Yes.
my niece Lindsay Jordan,
Yes.
myself.
Yeah.
But our main lead singer is going to be Ernie's son, Michael.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
This is the plan.
It's going to
So,
be really fun,
it
isn't
should
it?
be a blast.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen him in one of his shows since it was the Deja Vu show, which I wasn't in. I
That's-
just came to attend.
That's about right. He really he hesitated on wanting to do it, but when he heard it was going to be Sly and the Family Stone, he jumped at it.
It's going to be a
It's
really
one of his
fun show.
favorite
Yeah,
bands.
so that'll be something to look forward to. Tell us about Roll On, your C-Day.
Roll On only took me about 13 years to finish in
Okay.
between doing things with everybody else. And that came out in 2019, and that's about it. You
Yeah.
can get it on iTunes.
Love that record.
Thank you.
Really good
Well, you
record.
did you did some incredible work on it.
Thank
so.
you. Well, you're an incredible producer too. We work in the studio often
Yes, we
together,
do.
so that's cool. So you can check out Tom's record, Tom's live upcoming shows, everything on. Now, give me the exact official name of the website so I don't screw
It's
it up.
Tom Reock, REOCK.com.
TomReock.com. All right, cool. Well, let's go play. Before we do this, I wanted to touch on. Danny's family is always commenting and saying when you do Danny's songs at some of the shows we've done for the Danny D Foundation, that you kind of channel his spirit and sound so much like Danny.
Well, on one particular song,
Yeah.
I feel I can get the essence of Danny's vocal.
And what song would that?
That would be Time Is Right.
The Time Is Right, Time Is Right. So why don't we go all play that song right now,
That'd
our
be
version
wonderful.
of it, and as a little tribute to Danny. And once again, Tom Reock. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. When the time is right, we can break away. Don't think nobody gonna take away the music tonight. When the time is right. When the time is right, we're gonna give it a go. Don't think nobody gonna steal the show. Oh, not tonight. Oh, when the time is right. Listen to the music, talking about the players in the band. Give us time to prove it. We'll be rock and rolling across the land. Ernie! Oh, when the time is right, we'll break away. I'm caught up in the spotlight, hey, yeah, and no one can take it away. When the time is right, I feel so fine. I'm dancing in the moonlight, baby, and the audience is all
I gotta say, that was a really fun episode, the From the Heart episode. And I'm Lisa Buchel. This is Danny's Creative House, and we'll see you soon. That's a wrap.